The Miami Dolphins are navigating a tricky offseason, and it looks like some significant roster decisions are on the horizon, potentially involving contract reductions or trades. While cornerback Jalen Ramsey isn't the most talked-about name in trade discussions, another key player's future in Miami is also up in the air: tight end Jonnu Smith. Smith has been the subject of trade rumors, with the Pittsburgh Steelers frequently mentioned as a potential destination. Initial talks between the teams were reportedly brief and didn't lead anywhere. However, these discussions have recently resurfaced. This renewed interest from the Steelers apparently came after one of their tight ends suffered a season-ending injury, prompting them to reevaluate Jonnu Smith's availability. ESPN's Adam Schefter even reported, "Back on, Steelers have re-engaged today in talks on Dolphins TE Jonnu Smith, who is seeking a new contract. Steelers-Dolphins trade remains active," per source. Now, not everyone in Pittsburgh is reportedly thrilled about this potential move, as the Steelers already have Pat Freiermuth and Darnell Washington at the tight end position. However, there was some encouraging news for Dolphins fans. Smith's agent, Drew Rosenhaus, made it clear that his client's preference is to remain in Miami. Jonnu would definitely like to stay in Miami. That's his first choice, Rosenhaus stated, via Barry Jackson of the Miami Herald. This is where he lives in the offseason. He had a career year last year. His dream team is the Dolphins. Following these comments, the focus for Smith has been on securing a new deal with the Dolphins. According to Rosenhaus, progress is being made on that front, but nothing is finalized yet. Nothing has been resolved yet. The situation is still ongoing. I would say it will be resolved, during training camp, but it's still very much active and nothing has been finalized at this point. Rosenhaus explained, "It's clear that Jonnu Smith wants to spend the rest of his career in Miami. He's coming off a career-best season and seems to genuinely enjoy being part of the Dolphins organization. However, the team is reportedly facing salary cap constraints. So, ultimately, his future in Miami will likely depend on how much the Dolphins are willing and able to invest to keep him. For now, the situation remains in a bit of a stalemate, with contract negotiations ongoing and the possibility of a trade still lingering. What do you think the Dolphins should do with Jonnu Smith? Should they prioritize re-signing him or explore trade options? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. The Miami Dolphins are navigating a pivotal offseason, and it's looking like some major decisions are on the horizon, especially concerning potential contract restructures and trades. Two key players are at the center of these discussions: cornerback Jalen Ramsey and tight end Jonnu Smith, but their situations couldn't be more different. Let's start with Jalen Ramsey. Once a cornerstone of the Dolphins' defense, his relationship with the organization has reportedly soured significantly, with sources indicating this deterioration began around April. The friction between Ramsey and the franchise has apparently escalated, leading many to believe his departure from Miami is imminent. It seems the Dolphins might soon prioritize reducing contract burdens, and Ramsey's name is reportedly at the top of that list. His potential exit could signal a broader shift within the team as they reevaluate their roster and financial commitments. While Ramsey's situation seems to be heading toward a split, tight end Jonnu Smith finds himself in a different kind of uncertainty. He's also been involved in trade rumors, most notably with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Initial discussions about Smith's availability didn't pan out, but recent developments have brought those talks back to life. A significant injury to one of the Steelers' tight ends has apparently made Pittsburgh reconsider Smith, who is also looking for a new contract. An insider noted, "Back on, Steelers have re-engaged today in talks on Dolphins TE Jonnu Smith, who is seeking a new contract. Steelers-Dolphins trade remains active," highlighting just how fluid these negotiations are. However, despite these swirling trade talks, Jonnu Smith has made his preference very clear. He wants to stay with the Dolphins. His agent, Drew Rosenhaus, has been vocal about this, stating, "Jonnu would definitely like to stay in Miami. That's his first choice." Smith has established roots in the area, lives there in the offseason, and is coming off a career-best season last year, all of which reinforces his commitment to the Dolphins. According to Rosenhaus, negotiations for a new contract are progressing, though nothing is finalized yet. Nothing has been resolved yet. The situation is still ongoing. I would say it will be resolved, during training camp, but it's still very much active at this point, he commented. The big question for the Dolphins, especially with Jonnu Smith, comes down to finances. The team is reportedly dealing with salary cap limitations, so their decision on whether to keep Smith will heavily depend on how much they're willing to invest in his future. Smith clearly wants to finish his career in Miami, but the organization has to carefully navigate its financial landscape. This impasse really reflects the broader challenges many NFL franchises face in balancing player retention with fiscal responsibility. In conclusion, these unfolding scenarios with Jalen Ramsey and Jonnu Smith represent a critical moment for the Miami Dolphins. The outcomes of these potential trades and contract negotiations will undoubtedly shape the team's trajectory for the upcoming seasons. Whether it means a new beginning for Ramsey elsewhere or a renewed commitment to Smith in Miami, the decisions made during this period will ripple throughout the franchise, influencing not just the current roster, but the team's future identity. What do you think the Dolphins should do? Should they trade Ramsey? And should they find a way to keep Jonnu Smith? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.